All right, let's move on from Dune. I will never touch that again with a 10-foot pole. Lesson learned. So it was recently reported that Marvel is going to stay the course with Kang as the main villain for the next two Avengers movies, Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. I don't even know if the next one is even called Kang Dynasty anymore. I don't think it is, but still looks like they're going to stick with Kang as the main villain for those movies, along with maybe another one. But I think this is absolutely the right course to take because they had so much things set up with Kang, so many different interesting things they could have done with him, so many directions they could take, that if they didn't move forward with Kang as the main villain, despite what happened with Jonathan Majors, they would have wasted all of their time and all of our time with all of the setup they did for this character. So I think it is absolutely the right move to stick with Kang. And look, I'm not here to talk about what happened with Jonathan Majors and how all of that played out. Whatever you may think about that, I get it. But what's done is done. He was convicted and he was fired from Marvel. So now the conversation becomes, who do we want to play Kang moving forward? Who should the new Kang be? And there have been quite a few people suggested, lots of fan casts, and there's a couple people that have even been mentioned that Marvel has been looking at. And the first one is Coleman Domingo, who I think would be a fantastic choice for Kang. The guy is a great actor, one of the best actors working today, and very underrated. He was great in Rustin, totally carried that movie, and he was really good as a villain, just a total piece of shit in The Color Purple. So we know that he can play a villain as well. He can play both the kind of quieter, intimidating Kang that exudes confidence and authority that we saw like when he first appeared in Quantumania. He could also play the rage and anger that we saw towards the end of Quantumania. So he would absolutely be a great choice. And he has said that he would be willing to play Kang and that he wants to play a villain in the MCU. And I believe something along the lines of do some nasty shit. So sounds to me like he wants to do it, and I am totally down. The only thing with him is that he's quite a bit older than Majors, but I don't think that really matters for a character like Kang with all the time travel stuff. I think age is basically irrelevant. It might throw off the audience a little bit, which is what I'll talk about when I get to my number one pick, but I do think Coleman Domingo would be a great choice for Kang. And another one that I have seen thrown around that Marvel might be looking at is John David Washington. I think he would also be a good pick. Now, I don't believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't believe we've seen him play a villain before. So I'm sure he could do it. He probably could. He's a really good actor. I'm just saying we haven't seen it yet. We haven't seen stuff from him and his acting abilities that would lend itself to being able to play Kang, but he probably could do it. And you know who else could do it? His dad, Denzel Washington. And this is one that I have not seen legitimately reported that Marvel was looking into him, but I've seen people fan cast both John David Washington and Denzel as Kang. And if they were willing to do that, cast two different people, that would absolutely be my choice. I don't know if Denzel would do it. I don't really think so. It doesn't seem like the kind of thing he would do. But if he's willing, man, how awesome would that be for John David Washington to play a younger Kang and for Denzel Washington to play an older Kang? I think that would be so cool. We know from his work in Training Day and American Gangster that Denzel can play the shit out of a villain, and he can definitely bring that to Kang. I mean, his King Kong ain't got shit on me monologue feels very angry Kang to me. One of the best actors of all time. Highly unlikely to happen. So with that being said, my top choice, if they're only going to go with one person, would be Lakeith Stanfield. And I think he is also one of the best young black actors working today, and he's around the same age as Jonathan Majors. I don't really think that matters that much for a character like Kang, but, you know, as far as like the audience goes, I think it would be the easiest, most seamless transition. He also has kind of a similar voice to Majors, and we know that he can play a villain. I mean, the thing that really sold me on Lakeith Stanfield's ability to play Kang was The Harder They Fall, because he was such a despicable human in that movie. Like, oh man, this is the guy. He could absolutely do it. He could totally bring that energy to Kang. Again, he can play both the quieter, more sinister Kang and the more rageful Kang. He has the range to do it. The only thing with him, with Lakeith Stanfield, is that he's a bit slim, I think, for Kang. Majors was pretty jacked, but I feel like he could bulk up at least enough to where he would be believable as Kang. But aside from that, I think he's the perfect choice, and that's the name that I have personally been throwing around quite a bit. I don't know if Marvel's even looking into him, but that would be my personal choice. So what's yours? I know that everyone has their thoughts on this, and again, not here to talk about the major stuff. If you have your thoughts on that, I totally understand, but what's done is done. He was fired, and we have to move on with a new Kang. So who would you cast as Kang? Do you like my choices? Do you disagree with some of them? I'm sure you have other names that I have not mentioned yet. There's a lot of great choices out there. So drop a comment below and let's start a conversation about it. I think this is a really interesting discussion, and I'm sure they'll make the right choice. But it's fun to ponder. Fan casting is fun, and talking about theories is fun. So drop your choices below, and if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Likes are super important for helping me grow my channel and pushing my videos out to more people. If you want to see more of this kind of stuff, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified when I post a video. Stay tuned. I got some more cool stuff coming. I'll see you soon.